If you think you need to join a gym or lift heavy weights to stay mobile until you're 100, you have been misled. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact chair routine used by the longest living people in Okinawa, Japan, that effectively reverses the aging clock of your legs. But listen closely. This isn't just about exercise. It is about a specific micro-movement hidden within this routine that researchers now believe is the #1 predictor of how long you will live. Most seniors never learn this, and it costs them their independence. To understand why this matters, let me tell you about Robert. Robert is a real person, a 73-year-old retired engineer from Ohio. 2 years ago, Robert was exactly where many of you might be right now. He noticed he was gripping the banister a little tighter when going downstairs. Getting out of his favorite recliner took 2, sometimes 3 tries. He didn't say anything to his wife because he didn't want to worry her. But then, it happened. He was in the garden, lost his balance, and couldn't get back up. He wasn't hurt, but his pride was shattered. The doctor told him it was just normal aging and suggested a cane. But Robert refused to accept that sentence. And that is why I made this video. Because what Robert discovered next didn't just get him out of the garden, it gave him his life back. Now, you might be wondering, can a simple chair routine really be that powerful? The answer lies in data from the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle, and the famous Okinawa centenarian study. These institutions found that mobility isn't lost because of age. It is lost because of a specific type of muscle atrophy that starts in the hips and thighs. I have spent weeks combing through these medical journals, translating complex science into plain English so you don't have to. By the end of this video, you will have a simple, 3-step blueprint to reactivate these dormant muscles without ever leaving your chair. But there is a catch. There is one common mistake 90% of seniors make when sitting, that actually accelerates muscle loss. I will reveal exactly what that is in just a moment, but first, we need to look at the science. Here is the truth about your body that most doctors are too busy to explain. Think of your hip muscles like the hinge on a heavy door. When a hinge sits still for too long, it doesn't just stop moving, it rusts. It seizes up. This is a condition scientists call gluteal amnesia. Basically, your butt muscles forget how to fire. And when that happens, your lower back and knees have to do all the work. That is why you have back pain. That is why your knees ache. It is not just arthritis. It is a mechanical failure. Now, that sounds scary, but here is the good news. Unlike a rusted hinge, your muscles can be derusted almost instantly. The routine I am about to show you acts like WD-40 for your hips. It wakes up the connection between your brain and your legs. Robert, the man from Ohio I mentioned earlier, he started doing this while watching the evening news. Within 3 weeks, the rust was gone. So, if you are ready to unlock your hips, let's dive into the 3 secrets. #1 is what the Japanese call the lymphatic pump. But I call it the ankle awakener. Most people ignore their ankles, but in Japan, they know that stiff ankles are the first domino to fall in losing your balance. When your ankles are stiff, you shuffle instead of stepping, and shuffling leads to falls. Here is what the research shows. Fluid gathers in your lower legs when you sit, making them heavy and swollen. This movement fixes that. Sit on the edge of your chair, feet flat. Now, keep your heels on the ground and lift your toes as high as possible toward your shins. Hold it for 2 seconds. Now, drop the toes and lift the heels high, putting pressure on the ball of your foot. Rock back and forth. Toes up, heels up. Simple, right? But here's why it works. This rocking motion activates the calf muscle pump, which shoots blood back up to your heart and reduces swelling. Robert noticed the swelling in his ankles vanished after just 5 days of doing this. But flexible ankles are useless if you don't have stability. And that leads us to the second secret. #2 is the core stabilizer. Now, stay with me here. When I say core, I don't mean doing sit-ups. Please, stop doing sit-ups. They are terrible for your senior spine. The Okinawan secret is finding the deep core that protects you from tipping over. Thousands of viewers have told me that they feel wobbly when they turn around quickly. That is a core issue. Here is the fix. Sit tall in your chair. Imagine there is a string pulling the top of your head to the ceiling. Now, without using your hands, march one knee up toward your chest, hold it for a count of 3, and slowly lower it. Alternate legs. The magic happens in the slowly lower part. That slow motion forces your deep abdominal muscles to wake up to stabilize your spine. You might feel a little shake. That is good. That is your body remembering how to balance. If you're still watching, you are already in the top 10% of people who are actually going to change their health this year. Most people click away by now, but you are here because you value your independence. And you are going to need that focus, because this next movement, number 3, is the big one. This is the one that changes everything. Number 3. This is the sit-to-stand micro squat. In medical circles, the ability to get out of a chair without hands is literally used to predict how many years you have left to live. It sounds dramatic, but the data is undeniable. The Japanese perform this movement dozens of times a day, often from the floor. But we are going to modify it for safety. Listen carefully to the form. Scoot to the edge of your chair. Pull your feet back slightly underneath you. Hinge forward at the hips, keeping your back straight. Now, and this is the secret, push through your heels and hover your bottom just 1 inch off the chair. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. And sit back down. Do not stand all the way up yet. Just the hover. What? Because that hover creates an isometric contraction. It fires every muscle fiber in your thighs and glutes without stressing your knee joints. It is safe, but incredibly potent. Robert started with just 3 of these hovers a day. Just 3. But that raises an even bigger question. How do you put this all together into a routine that fits your life? Let's synthesize this. You have the ankle awakener to stop the shuffling. You have the seated march to lock in your balance. And you have the chair hover to build the raw power you need to climb stairs. Here is the routine. Every morning, right after breakfast, sit in your sturdy chair. Do 10 ankle rocks. Then, 10 slow marches. And finally, 5 chair hovers. That is it. It takes less than 4 minutes. You don't need special clothes. You don't need a gym membership. You just need consistency. Remember that mistake I mentioned earlier? The mistake of slumping while sitting? That deactivates your core. By doing this routine, you are reminding your body every single day that it needs to be ready for action. Now, I want you to close your eyes for just a second. Imagine it is 30 days from now. You wake up, and your legs feel light. You walk into the kitchen without holding the wall. You go to the grocery store, and you walk down the aisle with confidence, not worrying about bumping into someone or losing your footing. Imagine the look on your doctor's face at your next checkup. Imagine your grandchildren asking you to play, and you actually say, yes. This isn't a fantasy. This is exactly what happened to Robert. Last month, he sent me a picture. It wasn't of him sitting in a chair. It was him standing on a ladder, cleaning his own gutters. While I don't recommend ladders for everyone, it shows you what is possible when you reclaim your strength. But wait, there is one more thing. A bonus tip that acts as a multiplier for everything we just discussed. It's your grip strength. Studies from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society show that grip strength is directly correlated to leg strength. Weird, right? So while you are watching TV, squeeze a tennis ball or a rolled-up towel. Strong hands lead to a strong body. It is all connected. Listen, I spent over 40 hours researching this because I believe you deserve to age with dignity and power. If you found this helpful, please click the subscribe button and share this with a friend who needs it. You could literally be saving their independence. Remember, getting older is mandatory, but becoming weak is optional. I'll see you in the next video.